Children across the country are being subjected to bullying at school, and many have decided that harming themselves is the only option that they have in a setting like that, where they commit suicide. This case infuriates me, okay? It infuriates me on so many levels. First of all, it is that nobody was in charge. Nobody was in charge at this school. They knew that these kids had a history of bullying this girl. This young woman had lost her father just 2 weeks before. Her father dies of cancer, okay? And these little bottom sociopath, freakish girls, 4 of them, start humiliating her. They actually attack her, and she ends up committing suicide. Now, all of that was preventable.
It was. The mother had alerted the school to while the mother and daughter are still grieving the loss of the father, alerts the school to what's happening, gives the names, it provides all of the evidence. This is what is happening. These are the perpetrators. My daughter's already suffering enough. Can you do something to stop this?
Yeah.
And the school simply says, no, we can't. We're not going to do anything.
Yeah. So these kids, 3 of them are being prosecuted, and I hope this prosecutor holds these little sociopathic freaks, to the fire. But it comes down to leadership around the school, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, don't you meet with these parents ahead of time, and you see this pattern going on, and you have a frank discussion with these 3 little oddball sociopathic girls, right? And you say, you know what? If you can't parent your child right, they can't come to this. We're not going to be the parent. That's not our job to be the parent. If you can't teach this child some decency, then you're going to have to find another place for them. There's nothing wrong with doing that. And if you have a special school that they got to be sent to because they're maladjusted, send them to the damn school. But don't make these children victims to this kind of bullying.
I know. And what's going to have to happen here is that we're going to have to open it up so that the schools can be held liable when they ignore these threats. Yeah. It's the same situation, with the 6-year-old who shot the teacher. She's suing the administration. But this mother, in this instance, she should be able to sue the administration.
Oh, yeah. No, she's going to. They're going to win this case. Yeah. They will win this case.
And it's not enough for them to, but it's not enough for them to, we fired one administrator, we moved another one to a different school. Lawsuits will shut this down.
Well, the kids, the little bully freaks had a problem to begin with. They obviously had some kind of, the superintendent resigned. Well, he should have resigned, and he ought to be part of the lawsuit. Yeah. They need to sue him. They need to sue the school board. They need to sue anybody who touches this idea that we, by God, should be able to talk to a parent and say, you don't know how to parent. It's not our job to parent. And until you get this kid right, there's zero tolerance. They're not coming here. I don't know why we won't pull that trigger.
It's disgusting. It's disturbing. I mean, I've got an 11-year-old daughter as well, and this story it's horrific. Just thinking about what's happening to her at school, what could be happening, on either side of it.
Well, here's the choice. Either the superintendent and the school board get sued for not letting the little freak in school, or they get sued when the conduct of the little freak causes the death of another child. I take part A. If you're going to take a risk, do it with part A. Run the risk. Say, I don't care if you sue us. Your little freak is not going to be involved in being in this school. I mean, that sounds like a simple solution.
Yep.
Okay, so American politicians want you to think that the threat of China spying on you through TikTok is a serious danger. But at the same time, they're trying to renew their FISA powers so that our own government can spy on you more easily. Talk about this story. You have followed this from the very beginning. I'm going to hush. You do this story. I tell you what, this is amazing to me.
Yeah, this is absolutely one of the biggest cases of hypocrisy we've ever seen. Obviously, following 9/11, we had the sweeping changes to our FISA law here in the United States to where our intelligence agencies can go and do this bulk gathering, phone calls, text messages, emails, computer data, without a warrant. Mm-hmm. And it expires every couple years. Congress has to renew it. And each time it comes up for renewal, you hear the same arguments from the civil liberties groups, a couple of certain senators, Ron Wyden is one of them, who say, listen, You're using this to spy on Americans. You can make all the arguments you want that, oh, but we caught, 3 terrorists in the last 5 years using this. You're gathering up data of millions of Americans. This is the same thing Snowden told us about. This is a bad program and you're spying on us.
Yeah, I mean, this has been around. Here's the bad news. They don't care. Yeah. The American public doesn't care if they're spied on anymore. I don't know. It's like a cultural change that took place, in this country. Assange, they think Assange is some kind of awful guy because he discloses the amount of spying that the U.S. government's doing. Snowden, they say, oh, he sent him to Russia. Who the hell cares? He was disclosing the amount of spying that goes on. But what people don't get is all the numbers show, across the board, the American public has been so desensitized to this, they don't care if they're spied on. That's a simple truth.
Well, right. And the telecom companies, of course, push this big time. They send their lobbyists to D.C. to start taking everybody out to fancy dinners and golf resorts because they want this to still happen because they get huge money from the federal government to turn over this data. Again, no warrants. You don't have to go to a judge. Here's your data. Give me all this money.
It's worse than FISA. The other day I was working on the lead to Crossroads, Clapton's Crossroads. I was just sitting in there playing. I used I've got, I guess I had my phone there. Maybe I got the computer turned on and I'm working on Crossroads. Well, okay, I close everything up, set my guitar down, turn on Pandora. You know the first song that comes up? Crossroads. Now tell me there's not something, what are the chances of that kind of coincidence? And so it's not just FISA. We're being spied on it in every kind of way, and we don't care anymore. Maybe you care. I do care. But most people don't care.
Right. And we've sat here, we've done stories, recently about your Roomba, your vacuum that is now owned by Amazon, by the way. It's sending the data about what's in your home back to these massive corporations who, of course, can then turn it over to the federal government without a warrant, thanks to FISA. It's all connected, and people don't understand that.
Some people are so comfortable that they have, what is the Amazon, what's that thing?
Alexa.
Alexa. Okay, Alexa runs everything about their house. It turns on their lights. It turns on the television. It's all over their house. And they're getting the same kind of thing I just described that happened to me. But it's so amazing to me that people really don't seem to care anymore.
No, they don't, and it's all that post 9/11 mentality. I've got to be safe, and I guess I can give up all my civil liberties to do that.
Yeah.